This piece is a perfect example of him, you know, at his height, this Nuage. It's just unlike anything else. It's its own universe.
I love Debussy. I love Debussy. If I can do only that, I'll be a happy man.
He has so much his own language, his own harmonic language, which is recognizable in 1 second. You hear Debussy on the radio for 2 seconds and you know it's him.
The different colors you have at the piece and the different atmospheres you have to get with different instrumentation and different players, different places. The textures are always different in this kind of music.
Mag just go, do it once more, yeah?
Yeah.
That is always, das ist immer gefährlich dort, always, you have these empty bars.
Yeah.
And then you must give the second violence, because they are verwaist, they are alone, and don't have the confidence. Die trauen sich nicht, yeah? It is, you can't get a hold on it. It is like nuage, like wolken. So man muss deutlich sein. Und for example, this entrance of the second violins, one really must give that, because they are lost there. They're the only ones. Yeah? So once more. Zweite Geigen.
You have to be very fluent, but in the same time you have to be clear, because it's always a way to the music is writing. Then the musicians need to have a very strict one to know where they have to play. But on the other hand, you have to be very musical, to be very introspective into the music then.
Okay. But it is only my opinion that you are too free. Yeah, really. Especially at the end, is one big rubato. And I think it is music, and I have conducted it a lot, and I don't want to say that I'm good at it, but I have an experience, and also listening to other people, like I mentioned Boulez already, and André Cloetens, and very long ago, Pierre Monteux, they had this marvelous feeling of je suis ici, et c'est ça. And not all this giving and taking. I don't know if you are aware of it, but it should.
I am, yes.
Yeah, well, that's good. And you want it, you think it is the style. I think you have to be very careful with that, because Debussy was extremely meticulous. Debussy is extremely difficult because it is so different. And it was, for me, a very interesting experience with our Romanian conductor, Vlad, who thought that Impressionism should be very vague and free. And I could redress that a little bit. And I even used the name of Pierre Boulez, that he brought more strictness to the Impressionism, to Debussy. I think this music is so sans pied, without feet. It is all here. That one should help it with a bit more strict characterization.
Okay. I took more time with each phrase, each bar. I give a little bit of give and take with each bar, but he said, no, just keep it very clean in time. And when you get to the section where the flute and the harp have their little dialogue, just let it float in the air. Which was great advice. It sounded a lot better when I tried it his way.
May I, one moment?
Yes,
yeah?
please.
Ich sitze zu lange still, ja. 3 bars before 7.
I was staying in 6, and it was preventing me from speeding up a little bit almost. So he said change the time from 6 into 2. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just naturally speeds up on its own. It gives them more space to float.
It is a little bit more fließend, yeah? Floating.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too much, but...
In that direction, yeah.
Yeah, in that direction.
Such a chamber music piece, even if you have the whole orchestra, the way Debussy orchestrated or the way he thought about colors and images, it's such a well-written piece that as a conductor you have not so much to do in the conducting area, but more into create the whole spirit of the music. very subtle textures that you can find in Debussy, because it's so risky to find the correct sound, but at the same time don't fall in going too slow or making too much rubatos, make the line always go.
Before every new phrase or statement, you want to breathe and you want to give it time. We had a discussion with Vlad yesterday. Don't do that, because it brings the music to a standstill. Dee da dee da dee. Go on, yeah, really. I'm serious about that. I don't think I'm very often right, but I think I'm right there. And I have learned that also through my own mistakes, that when you just don't try it, don't make it too beautiful. It is so beautiful itself. Don't add too much makeup.
Yeah.